Driver Dan, me.
Hey guys, it's Denny's Taxi News time again. I can't believe it's flew past already. Anyone new to the channel, this is the part where I round up what's happened in taxi related news in the prior month and then put it all together in one spot for you and we discuss it. So in today's lineup, we've got Uber expanding again, no shock there. We've got Bolt's pre-UK tax profit. We've got trouble in Wolverhampton. We've got a massive Uber fine and why. We've got the Uber pricing system logic and reasons why they don't just increase fares because. And we got my favourite part. You can't do that, mate. Uber has expanded themselves into Ipswich. Now, here's the thing. They've already been operating there since 2021, but under their partners, with their partners Hawk Express. However, they've now been officially granted their own license to be able to operate solely. You may also remember that in last month's news, I told you that in York, they'd been given a license to operate there, and there was loads of protests. Well, the protests are continuing to carry on with the York Station Acne drivers having absolute kickoffs because Uber drivers are in the waiting areas left, right, and centre and waiting for rides. Now, we've had a similar thing here in Liverpool. So our council said they're going to fine them. Turns out that's also what the York Council is going to do. Most of you won't be aware that in 2022, Bolt filed a £47 million pre-tax loss. However, this time round, they've now filed at £8.3 million in pre-tax profits, according to the accounts that were filed on Companies House on the weekend. Bolt's profit year stemmed from an 80 million plus tax credit, which also served to increase its net assets to 45 million from more than 22 million in liabilities in the previous year. Now, Bolt isn't in Liverpool, but if anyone from Bolt is hearing this, please get your arse here. I may have mentioned Wolverhampton once or twice in previous videos, but hey, the reason why they're coming up all the time is because they have 26,000 private hire vehicles registered, and out of them, 16,000 are Uber drivers. I know it's crazy, right? But recently, there's been protests outside the Wolverhampton City Council buildings where drivers have got together to show concerns over saturation of the market, the low pay of some fares, and some safety issues. While it's all well and good them doing this, the part that confuses me is the fact that the council don't have any power whatsoever for any of them things they're protesting outside the council about. That's all made by either the operator themselves or government legislation. So I'm not too sure what they were hoping to accomplish. But I guess the more noise that's about, the better it's going to be, and the more notice will eventually be taken, and maybe there will be some type of cap involved. Uber has recently been fined 290 million euros for transferring of personal data from European drivers to the US servers. So the story goes, there's a Dutch data protection authority, and they said that they're in serious violation when they've transferred documents such as taxi license information, ID documents, locations, all to the headquarters in the US over a 2-year period. That is a significant data protection breach, and all that information should never have been moved over. Of course, Uber, on the other hand, is saying that this is unjustified and they're going to appeal against it. Over the years, I've seen people judge Uber by not increasing the fares like a lot of local bases do during bank holidays or Christmas or a particular event where the local bases will make it time and a half or double. Now, I've recently come across a bit of footage where a person who works for Uber has explained why. So let's have a listen to this and then see what you think.
The reason why we don't do it is because Uber's pricing genuinely reflects when the times are busiest on the roads. It's not determined by holidays or by Christmas. There's some times where you would think because it's a certain holiday, there's going to be a lot of demand. And then what actually we see, that's not the case. And there is no logic, or it wouldn't be a great thing to do to encourage drivers to increase pricing, essentially. Encourage drivers to drive in that time and getting everyone on the road, however, the demand is quite low. So that's why you would know that that's not how pricing on the Uber platform works. And actually, I know it might sound really odd and really weird for a lot of drivers, but we don't see our biggest spikes in demand to be during the Christmas time. We actually do see a lot of riders wanting to take trips earlier in December, when I'm not sure whether that's because of a lot of Christmas parties, a lot of things happening, or maybe people flying somewhere for a holiday, but that is actually our busier time. I can give you a very different example, which is when there is a massive concert event. Taylor Swift, for example, right now, which is happening, is causing a lot more demand, a lot more riders wanting to take a trip. So I think we don't, just to answer your question fully, we don't have special rates. We don't have special rates for Christmas or for bank holidays, but our pricing should be higher at times when demand is the highest.
After listening to that, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Why encourage drivers to go out to work if there's not enough work by making it time and a half or double? It makes no sense. Whereas, the likes of New Year's Eve, although it's not, we're going to put the prices up, the demand on New Year's Eve will be that high, prices will go up and it will be major busy. What's your thoughts on it? Do you think they should increase them anyway to encourage drivers to come out? I don't. And now we're on to my favourite part. You can't do that, mate. So first, we've got a driver who was pretending to be a taxi driver, but broke down on the way to the airport. As he broke down, an officer stopped to assist him to find he was acting as a taxi driver and was unlicensed or insured to do such a thing. We've then got a dual licensed taxi driver, lost his license after using his mobile phone during a school run. We have another driver who was convicted of plying for hire, and he's got to pay nearly £2,000 in costs and receive 6 penalty points. A drunk driver was jailed in Northwich after he left a teenager seriously injured. A Manchester man has been sentenced for 4 years and 6 months in prison after causing serious injuries to a pedestrian. And we've got another Wolverhampton private hire driver caught using a mobile phone whilst driving in Greater Manchester. And last but not least, we've got an Acne carriage driver that was busted by the licensing authority for failure to engage with his meter. Now, there isn't much around this story. It's just pretty much a headline. But from what I can guess, and it is pure speculation, he picked up a fare on one of them, I'll take you there for 20 quid, mate, and didn't switch his meter on. I think something like that's happened there. Come on, lads, you can't do that. Right, that's all I've got this month. It's been quite a slow month. But if you have enjoyed this, then give us a like, give us a sub. I'll catch you in my vlogs in a bit.